Hello, everybody. This is Ian Beckles, and welcome back to In the Trenches. Victory Mondays are my favorite, and that's what we're in right now. Victory Monday. The Buccaneers figured it out yesterday. They win 30-24 against the Carolina Panthers, who were playing good football. Okay, Sam Darnold's their quarterback. Listening to, we're at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House, listening to, the commentary and everybody else says, Sam Darnold, we have to beat Sam Darnold. The Carolina Panthers were playing pretty good football with Sam Darnold at that time. Okay, so the Buccaneers didn't beat a schlep yesterday. They beat a team that was playing pretty good football. It was clear that they were in a playoff mindset. Todd Bowles had told them, guys, playoffs start today. And yesterday's game was like a playoff game. And they played it thusly. Bucs are in the playoffs. They locked in the 4th seed. Next game is going to be irrelevant, and we'll see what they do with that game. I don't foresee Tom Brady being there, or Leonard Fournette, or Tristan Wirfs, or anybody who's important. I don't see them playing in the game next week. Yesterday's game was probably a carbon copy, or was pretty close to a carbon copy of the week before against the Cardinals. Going into the 4th quarter, everybody was going, oh my God, not again. And I go, this is exactly what happened last week. There were 2 scores down going into the 4th quarter, but the defense was starting to play better. Offense was starting to move a little bit, and I was confident going into the 4th quarter. I swear to you, I was confident. And the Buccaneers figured out a way to get it done. And if you ask me if the Buccaneers have played a complete game yet this year, maybe not. But they're good enough to beat that team yesterday playing the way that they played. So we have to, we have to embrace, as Buccaneer fans, any way we can get into the playoffs, because the Buccaneers just won the NFC South back-to-back for the first time ever. Okay? Tom Brady just won his 19th division championship, which is ridiculous. Okay? So, to me, you've heard me in the trenches every single week. If you pull them out individually, you would say, Ian doesn't like the Buccaneers. Ian doesn't think the Buccaneers have a chance. And I had people hitting me up in social media. Well, I thought you said Tom Brady couldn't throw the ball anymore. Go back and watch and listen to what I say, all right? Tom Brady still doesn't throw the ball down the field very well. Yesterday, we had a couple balls that traveled 6 yards. Hadn't happened in months. So to say that, Ian, you were wrong, well, first of all, hit the brakes, okay? I never said Tom Brady can't throw the ball. If you go back and watch the film, I said, boy, with things around Tom Brady, you can still win a championship around Tom Brady. Yesterday was a great situation. Yesterday, Mike Evans was Mike Evans again. Chris Godwin was Chris Godwin again. Our defense played the way it was supposed to play in the second half. You think that was Mike Evans all year? Mike Evans scored 3 touchdowns yesterday. He had 3 touchdowns the rest of the season. Which one is more of an anomaly? Is that Mike Evans? We don't know. Chris Godwin looked like the old Chris Godwin again. Is that going to be the way he's going to play going into the playoffs? We don't know. Listen, a lot of it has to do with the opponent as well. And the Buccaneers matched up well against the Carolina Panthers. All right? There's no other better way. Now, timing is everything. All right? If you've heard me speak throughout the season, at no time did I think the Buccaneers were in a situation where they could make any noise. Timing is everything. They're peaking at the right time. And when I'm saying peaking, I mean they just played a great game. That was the closest they had to a complete game. Going into the playoffs, you get a chance to rest your starters now. When they go and play Dallas or Philadelphia in Raymond James Stadium in a couple weeks, what they're going to be is a team that just won against the Carolina Panthers. And that means your timing is good. If you look at this Buccaneer team and what they've done throughout the year, and you say, hey, what good teams have they beaten? Carolina was a good team. The Cowboys were a good team back when. There hasn't been a whole lot of teams in the middle. But could anybody tell me that the Buccaneers can't beat the Eagles or the Cowboys or the Niners or the Seahawks or the Vikings? Can you tell me that? Because you obviously haven't watched those other teams. Dallas Cowboys probably of all those teams I mentioned, are probably the most talented. The Eagles are probably the most complete. I've watched those teams play often. They're definitely beatable. The 49ers are way beatable. The Seahawks are up and down, and the Vikings get trounced every other week. So, Buccaneers are going to this thing. Why not? Why not the Buccaneers? Now, going into that game yesterday, the Buccaneers did some things well. Some things looked just like they had been. There's pass interference calls. Donovan Smith still getting penalties. Donovan Smith is at a point now where technically you have to start checking yourself, okay? When your head coach is questioning your technique and every single game you're getting penalties, you got to start checking yourself. And it's a technical thing, period. And what's hard is he's a rapper instead of a puncher. I was a rapper as well. You could get away with rapping in the middle of the field when you're out there against those big, those quick ends like a Bosa, and you're trying to wrap him and he's putting his hands on you. It equates to a lot of holding penalties. And Donovan Smith has just had too many damn holding penalties. Chris Godwin, if you ask me, give me a sure-handed guy who's not going to fumble, I would say Chris Godwin. He put the ball on the ground. We can't do that, okay? We had some drives, 14-play drives. We have a 14-play drive. We ended up kicking a 50-yard field goal. This is the one thing about this Buccaneer team. And if you've been watching them the whole time, you'll have to agree with me. Everything the Buccaneers do offensively is difficult. It's difficult. Third and ones are difficult. Everything is difficult. You know, if you get a first down, it's guys diving and struggling, and everything is hard. But when everything is difficult, boy, it's hard to score a lot of points. And they figured out a way to score a lot of points yesterday, but they hadn't been doing that all year long. I love that Mike Evans, and I'll be honest with you, that bomb to Mike Evans may have saved the Buccaneers season. That's real. At the time when it's 14-0 and absolutely nothing's going right for the Buccaneers, that bomb down the sideline to Mike Evans, at that time, the timing was perfect. Without that bomb, I'm not sure the Buccaneers are feeling very good about themselves today because Carolina at that point had all the momentum, all right? Boy, I tell you, I want you guys to start checking yourselves because watching on social media, listening to sports radio, so many people want, Byron Leftwich's head. Didn't he called the plays yesterday. You liked him yesterday? Well, Tom got the ball down the field. We made catches. We scored some points. We did some things. Byron Leftwich can't throw and catch the ball. He can't protect. He can't do all of that. So before you guys want to crucify Byron Leftwich for calling terrible plays, I like to blame the players personally. And for a guy that was a good play caller 2 years ago, to me, it was a lot of drops, a lot of penalties this year. I mean, how many times have we scored a penalty this year and been called back? That's not Byron Leftwich, all right? It's not Byron Leftwich. And I like to see stuff like Anthony Nelson with the strip sack. There's been 3 this year. Joe Tryon-Schweiger had 7 tackles. Not the tackles I want to see, but it's good to see him on the list. He has to start making more things happen behind the line of scrimmage. And we have to start, as much as I've listened to this coaching staff get crucified, let's start applauding our defensive staff for making adjustments. Go back and look this year at the adjustments that this defensive staff has made in the second half. And I'd be shocked if there's any defensive staff that has made better adjustments. Because going into the second half of the game, often this year, I thought this Buccaneer team had no chance. And defensively, they figured it out just in time for this offense to catch up and figure themselves out. So watch yourself, because I think a lot of the coaching in the Buccaneers has been excellent, despite not doing things consistently. The Falcons we got the Falcons next week. Rest your people, man. Rest your people. Then we're going to have a home game against the Cowboys or the Eagles, I guess it is. And at that point, the records don't matter. They really don't. And we have a home game. If Tom Brady's still healthy, he's still Tom Brady. And we still have a pretty darn good defense. If you ask me how many defenses out there in the NFL have the ability to shut somebody out, Buccaneers defense is one of them. They don't do it that often because our offense doesn't really drive the ball that much. But our defense has the ability, so you better watch out for yourself if you're going to count out the Buccaneers and you have Tom Brady healthy, and he looks healthy now, and a defense that's peaking. I'm not making any predictions, but timing is everything. All right? Let's hope for the best, everybody. Let's rest up next week, and let's get ready for those stinking Cowboys or those stinking Eagles. Which one of them stinking son of bitches? Anyways, anybody want to hit me up, Ian Beckles at radioinfluence.com. I'm not on radio anymore, so this is the way to listen to me. Hit me up on social media. It's Ian_Beckles, mostly Instagram, and hit me up. I love questions, and I love to talk football. So let's hope next week we're talking about the playoffs on the horizon. Looks like it's going to be the Eagles or the Cowboys probably. I'm not scared of the Cowboys. You give me any one of those teams I mentioned, to me the Cowboys are ripe for the picking. And if you're going to outcoach somebody, it's going to be Mike McCarthy because he coaches his damn self. Everybody have a wonderful week, and please be safe. Go Bucs. Peace out.